Hello and welcome to Waterman Wellness, your pathway to health and wellness with local experts as your guides. I'm Michelle Wargo. There is plenty of helpful information in this month's episode that we'll jump right into, including a local heart surgeon explains how advances in bypass surgery can dramatically improve recovery time for some heart patients. Are you and your family prepared for flu season? A Tavares physician shares the best time to get a flu shot. And we're bringing on the pink. Waterman Wellness is the source for information about medical advances in breast cancer treatment and community resources to help you. Our top story is important to the safety of the entire community. Florida Hospital Waterman has become the only hospital in Lake County to upgrade its emergency radio system to a county-wide communication system. Now, the hospital is part of the radio network used by the county's 911 dispatch system, which ties together all law enforcement, fire and rescue, emergency management, and emergency medical services agencies. The hospital's upgrade improves the speed of transitioning care from first responders to the emergency department, which will help save more lives. Now we turn our attention to the effort to save the lives of breast cancer patients. Medical advances have helped reduce the mortality rate of the disease, which affects about 1 in 8 women. From diagnosis to treatment, women have better options that help them resume their quality of life once the cancer is gone. Lake County plastic surgeon Dr. Peter Marzik is excited about advances in breast reconstruction surgery for women who have had a mastectomy.
Within the last year, they've come out with what they call form-stable implants. With a form-stable implant, the silicone is a cohesive gel. It does not really change shape. With a non-form-stable implant, you can see when you squeeze it, it changes shape. But with a form-stable implant, it really pretty much stays the same. Breast reconstruction can either be done immediately, and an immediate breast reconstruction is done at the same time as the mastectomy. The patient has her mastectomy, and while she is still asleep on the operating table, the plastic surgeon comes in to do the first stage of the reconstructive process, whichever type of reconstruction we're doing.
Yet despite the improvements in breast reconstruction procedures, few women have it done.
A recent study in JAMA showed that only 30 to 40% of women actually have the information regarding breast reconstruction and elect to proceed with it. I think the one big take-home message that I'd like to make sure people realize is that most patients are candidates for breast reconstruction, and that all insurance has to cover it.
Dr. Marzik says there are many benefits for women who choose to have breast reconstruction surgery.
Breast reconstruction as a plastic surgeon is perhaps one of the most fulfilling surgeries we do, because of the fact that you're taking somebody who's at a very difficult stage in their life. We can show them multiple studies that show that breast reconstruction really does help the woman get through the grieving process of losing a body part, and hopefully can put that smile back on her face.
Dr. Marzik says breast implants do not interfere with mammograms or other cancer screenings. Another common misconception about breast reconstruction surgery. Florida Hospital Waterman has assembled a team of experts who are dedicated to creating an individualized plan for each breast cancer patient with the best outcome for that woman. From early detection to post-operative treatment and support, the team brings best-in-class technology and expertise to beating breast cancer. In many cases, a picture tells 1,000 words, which is why local cancer specialists rely on advanced imaging to help choose the treatment course.
It is crucial to my existence, if I may. They are crucial to me in terms of determining the size of the tumor, the extent of it, whether there is any involvement of the lymph nodes, and whether the other side or the other breast is normal. With advanced imaging techniques, you're able to find tumors earlier, as a result of which the treatments are initiated earlier and the outcomes in terms of overall survival and mortality have improved.
Treatment advances help to save more lives and at the same time can have less impact on the quality of life for the recovering patient.
The Savvy device is a device that we use here at Florida Hospital Waterman to deliver what is called accelerated partial breast radiation. And essentially, accelerated partial breast radiation in selected patients can replace the traditional whole breast radiation in women that have chosen to have breast conserving surgery. And what it is, it's a regimen by which the radiation is delivered directly to the area just around where the tumor was removed, rather than irradiating the entire breast. And then the treatment can be done in over a 5-day period as opposed to over a 6-week period. What we do is we insert sort of a placeholder device at the time of surgery, and then we do what we call a catheter exchange, where we take out that placeholder device. It's called a cavity evaluation device. We take that device out and exchange it for the actual Savvy catheter, and then they go to the radiation oncology department, where there's a very complex mapping process where their treatment is planned and then the delivery is made.
Dr. Sebi stresses that despite all of these medical advances, early detection of breast cancer offers the best chance of survival.
I mean, I think we have this big push in the month of October, but every month of the year we need to remember that basically screening is important. If you find something in your breast or you find something unusual, don't just sit on it, because it will not go away. Go and have it assessed. And if you think you're too busy, if you think there's too many people that depend on you to do things, the bottom line is that if you leave something until it's much more difficult to treat, then those people that depend on you or that busy life of yours will just get much more disrupted.
Has all of the information about breast cancer treatment advances inspired you to take action? Waterman Wellness encourages you to join the Pink Army. As a Florida hospital soldier, you can help raise awareness and hope for people in the community while helping yourself or a loved one. Enlist a friend and learn about numerous resources in our community at the various Pink It Up events scheduled throughout Lake County. Some are fun activities that will get the heart beating and on the road to a healthy lifestyle. You'll also learn about the importance of early detection through screenings and self-breast exams.
Self-examination saved my life, and I've come across so many women who would never imagine of touching their breast because they're either afraid of knowing that they have breast cancer or not knowing. And I think that if we can show people how simple it is or how it saved my life, hopefully we can save many more lives.
Visit jointhepinkarmy.com to register and learn about free gifts and discounts. You can even schedule a mammogram online at the Join the Pink Army website.
People need to know, be aware that, you know, you have to get your mammograms and you have to do this stuff, and you just got to stay on it. And it's just, it's just great to be here.
You'll have an opportunity to hear from experts about the latest advances, as well as be inspired by survivors at the Breast Cancer Awareness Luncheon. The event is free to the public and will be held Friday, October 24th at the new Pavilion on the Lake in downtown Tavares. Reservations are requested, and you can register at jointhepinkarmy.com. We're going to take a short break, but there is still plenty to watch when Waterman Wellness continues. A local surgeon will tell us about an amazing cardiac procedure that can reduce recovery time from bypass surgery. If you haven't gotten your flu shot yet, you'll definitely want to hear what one local doctor has to say. And we will show you how to prepare a recipe that looks too good to eat, but you'll still want to. First, Waterman Wellness has information about community events and classes that can contribute to your healthy lifestyle. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. I'm Michelle Wargo. Did you know that Lake County is home to a specialized medical team that collaborates on an advanced heart bypass procedure? They work a lot like a pit crew in a car race. Cardiothoracic surgeon Gary Allen and the Florida Hospital Waterman team perform beating heart surgery, which is available at only a small percentage of U.S. cardiac care centers.
Traditionally, bypass surgery has been done with the use of a heart-lung machine. and it takes the blood out, it runs it through a circular pump, and it allows us to operate in a field that's bloodless, the heart that's not moving, and it allows the lungs to rest as well, which is really a neat and safe thing, but it does have some negative side effects. It injures the elements of the blood, and we see some complications from that sometimes. So instead of using an artificial life support machine like a heart-lung machine, we use a series of stabilizers, and they allow us to isolate the one small part of the heart that we're operating on at each time. And if you look at an average adult-sized heart, it's probably about the size of a cantaloupe, give or take. But the actual part that we operate on at any given time is about the size of a silver dollar, if you will. So if we're able to keep that one silver dollar size space stable and let the rest of the heart beat normally and let the lungs beat normally, it allows us a lot of advantage. You know, when I say us, it's really the patient, frankly. It leads to reduced blood transfusions, problems with stroke, faster hospitalizations.
This past summer, John Burrow of Leesburg, a 39-year veteran of the Lake County Sheriff's Office, underwent the procedure.
On August the 9th, I worked outside all day and wound up having a heart attack about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Went to the emergency room here at Waterman Hospital. Nice bunch of people. And they proceeded to start testing, see what was going on, and they said, yes, you did have a heart attack. But after the tests were run, Dr. Allen came in and reviewed everything that they had done, and then sat down with us, and he told me that if I were a relative of his, would not recommend that you go home without getting this fixed. I'll never forget that.
Still planning to return to his job as a deputy sheriff, Burrow is on the road to recovery.
I walk as much as I can. I got a stationary bicycle there in the house, and I've been on it every day, and every day gets a little better. I feel like a calm inside. I don't feel that there's some urgency that has to be taken care of. I'm really comfortable.
Dr. Allen says unlike other heart programs, Florida Hospital Waterman has a programmatic approach to beating heart bypass surgery.
With regards to bypass surgery patients, our intent to treat is always with beating heart surgery because we feel like that is the best tool in the toolbox. Having said that, there's never a one-size-fits-all answer for anything that we do. And in our experience, about 95% of the patients that we operate on we're able to successfully manage with the beating heart technique.
Dr. Allen says the team practices the complicated procedure for hours before performing surgery on a patient. We now turn our attention to an illness that can affect just about anyone. Flu season is getting underway and medical professionals are focused on helping the population stay virus-free. Family practitioner Veronica Chastain says the flu vaccine is the best way to prevent influenza.
Influenza immunization becomes active 10 to 14 days after it has been given. So the American Academy of Family Practice recommends for all physicians to provide it to older patients as soon as it becomes available each year. There's probably 150 plus different strains, not only of influenza A, but also influenza B. Influenza A tends to be more resistant, and that's why we create a vaccine every year, because we will target the strains that produce the most damage the year before.
Families with children can be especially susceptible because illness spreads quickly through the classroom.
The biggest advice will be for them to provide the immunization to their kids if they're 6 months and older. Usually when the influenza has been proven, you will shed the virus for about 24 hours before you start having symptoms and up to 10 days afterwards.
Dr. Chastain also urges the elderly and people with chronic diseases to get the flu vaccine as soon as possible, as they may be more susceptible to influenza. The medical community agrees that one of the best ways to stay healthy is to eat a nutritious, balanced diet, and some foods are especially helpful in avoiding diseases such as cancer. Registered dietitian Stephanie Bassett and Florida Hospital Waterman executive chef David Atkinson are in the CONRY Creation Health Kitchen with a recipe that looks good and is good for you. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and when you think about breast cancer awareness, you think pink. So here we are in the CONRY Creation Health Kitchen, joined by registered dietitian Stephanie Bassett, and we have executive chef for Florida Hospital Waterman, Dave Atkinson. And they're here today to show us something delicious, nutritious, and pink. So what are we making?
We have roasted beets today with oranges, fennel, and cilantro.
All right, fantastic. So Chef Dave, I will let you take it away.
Well, today we have two different types of beets. We have the roasted golden beets and the roasted red beets. We have fresh fennel, fresh red onions, fresh orange sections, cilantro, salt, orange juice, lime juice, and lemon juice.
Oh wow, it sounds very bright and fresh and refreshing.
Okay, so we're going to take our citrus juices and mix them together.
They smell good.
Nice and fresh. And then we're going to take our onions and fennel and marinate them for just a couple minutes so they get soft.
So when you're in the store, what does fennel look like?
It's a bulb, and it looks a lot like celery, and it's got kind of dill-looking leaves hanging off the top of the stalk.
Okay.
And you actually only use the bulb, so the stalks you don't really use unless you're cooking with them, but if you're eating it raw, you just use the bulb.
So Stephanie, what makes this dish so good for Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Well, first of all, the color. It's really vibrant, really rich with those red beets and the pink color of them. But beets are a really good source of a lot of nutrients. They have good sources of potassium, protein, manganese, and zinc.
Oh, wow.
And those are things that we don't get in a lot of foods, so they're really great to incorporate. It also has oranges, so you have vitamin A and potassium in those as well. And then lots of other things from your red onion, your fennel, and your cilantro.
All right.
And there we have it.
So orange and roasted beet salad. Here goes nothing. That's really good. You'll find the complete orange and roasted beet salad recipe online at watermanwellness.com. We hope you've enjoyed this month's Waterman Wellness, your pathway to healthy living with help from local experts. Be sure to watch for the November episode right here on Lake Sumter TV for some of the following stories. We'll turn our focus to healthy aging with insight on staying active and independent from local geriatricians. We'll show you the amazing resources available in Lake County that help amputees get back on their feet and moving for themselves. And the holidays are just around the corner. We'll show you a healthy side dish that will be a hit at your Thanksgiving meal. To learn more about the experts featured in this program, please visit watermanwellness.com. Until next time, I'm Michelle Wargo for Waterman Wellness.